Seymour Harter.
Good morning to you. Last year when I addressed conference, I had hoped to be able to address you in a position today that is somewhat different from that from which I speak. I have not come today to question providence. I have come rather to join with you in celebrating with pride 75 years of glorious service of our party and to cheer on those to whom the awesome responsibility of leading our party into the future now falls. It has become all too easy for too many to understate or to misrepresent the glorious legacy of service our party has performed over the past 75 years. It therefore needs to be said that the proud record of good governance and the practice of democracy with which the name of Barbados has come to be associated owes more to the efforts of our party than to any other institution. We equally draw pride from the sustained and the sterling efforts of this party and government to build a strong and a prosperous economy, inspired by the sound ideology that you can never truly create a successful society except it is founded on the secure foundations of a viable economy. Over 75 years, our party has led the way in seeking to transform our Barbados into a good and a just society, a country that cares for its people, a land where aspiration and opportunity can meet, a nation whose effort to develop are inspired by the most worthwhile of goals, the eradication of poverty, the attainment of full employment for our people, our claim as a nation of rights to full and civilized development. Over 75 years, our party has caused Barbados to stand for something special among the family of nations, a country widely respected and admired as the proper mirror image of what a small nation can and must attain. Labour Party, this is the legacy which we today celebrate. And I say to the future leaders of this party that this is the legacy that must guide us like a beacon as we contemplate the troubled and uncertain future which now confronts our nation. Some years ago, V.S. Naipaul famously began his novel, A Bend in the River, in these terms, and I quote. He said, "The world is what it is. Men who are nothing, who allow themselves to become nothing, have no place in it. Barbados has come to its bend in the river. It is still a nation of good people afflicted by a bad government of men who are nothing. Barbados is being brought to its knees by men who seek refuge for their ineptitude in a non-existent global recession. A nation that has now lost its place in the world has fallen behind and is in danger of going under. Our nation has been made the victims of a dangerously flawed and false ideology which says you can build a society without resting that society on a strong economy. Our nation now faces the specter of becoming a society which does not have a viable economy. This nation's vital economic organs are either already in arrest or are in rampant decline. It will now take a monumental effort to stave off the fate which has befallen others who have allowed their economies to go into the kind of free fall which is now taking place in our Barbados. Some such countries have experienced a lost decade. Some have experienced a lost generation. Already, signs of a great societal disorder and a great unraveling are growing in our nation. Crime and violence are stalking the land. The services which have been available to our people and which have made Barbados a good place to live are slowly being dismantled. This government is now offering our people a lesser quality of life than has been enjoyed by Barbadians ever since independence. And they are doing so with a callousness that is remarkable even by the low standards that the Democratic Labour Party has always exhibited. This country, not mere Montley, has lost its way when, in an episode without precedent in any parliamentary democracy, no member of the government was prepared to answer the legitimate charges of gross mismanagement and reckless incompetence that was brought against a minister in the House. The country, not mere Motley, has lost its way. The task that therefore awaits the next Barbados Labour Party administration to rescue, to restore, and to rebuild this nation will pale into insignificance the great accomplishments this party has attained over the past 75 years. But before we come to deal with that, there are challenges that must urgently engross the energies of the family of the Barbados Labour Party and engross the attention of good people everywhere in our nation. The first, our people are being made to be satisfied with less than enough, while a privileged few on whose behalf deals and contracts are being arranged by the BLP are being allowed to feel that they are entitled to more than all. It is time for the deals to be brought to an end. Ordinary Barbadians are being asked to continue to make a sacrifice even when they have nothing left to give. While they struggle and suffer, the DLP government continues to use the people's financial resources to pay for its partisan political program. That has to stop. Our nation has known progress in the past, in part because of strong leadership, which has made things happen for the better in our land. The present leader of this country is useless. He behaves like a man at large, seldom seen, seldom heard. His behavior can be used in ads for either prosperity or slumber rest. And on the occasion he emerges from his hibernation, it is to give vent to a haughty, dismissive, and vitriolic nature. We can now fully appreciate what prompted the attempted coup by the Eager 11. For at this moment when Barbados faces the most daunting crisis in its history and cries out for leadership that is more effective than ever, the man at the helm, if you would allow me to use the words of Coleridge, is as idle as a painted ship upon a painted ocean. Barbados deserves better. I thank you for this opportunity to be part of this significant celebration of our party. But I thank you most of all, Labour Party, for the opportunity to have served you and to have served our nation. The service I was allowed to perform in the Senate and in Parliament for 30 years as a representative of the Barbados Labour Party has been the core of my life. I thank you for that opportunity to serve, which has been beyond my imagination and beyond my expectation. I now go to another phase and another phase in my service to this party. And as I do so, if you would allow me to use the words of my father, I will try to do my duty as God gives me the light to see that duty. God bless you, and God bless the Barbados.